welcome back to Tutorial Tuesday, where we learn things together in a simple and easy way. So today we're going to be teaching you how to optimize a blog post. So this is going to be primarily for bloggers, or if you are a solopreneur that has started a blog to try and get more people to your website, then this is also going to be for you as well. So this is going to be a really simplified SEO lesson. We're going to learn about keywords, what Optimise actually means, and how you do it. So I am going to be using WordPress for this because a lot of my websites are on WordPress, but kind of still applies to things like Squarespace and Blogger and all of that. So the general premise of it will still be relevant. It's just that this is going to be done through WordPress. So with WordPress, they have plugins like Yoast that kind of help you along and guide you. So I am going to be using Yoast, but I will also be talking about the alternative ways to do what Yoast does. It just takes a little bit longer for you to do it if you're not using WordPress. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get you optimizing your blog content, and it's going to be awesome. You're going to love it. You're going to know what you're doing by the end of it. You're going to know how to optimize your blog post, and hopefully you're going to be on the road to SEO success with your content. So let's go. Okie dokie, so what we are going to do is we're going to learn how to optimize your blog posts. So here we have all of my blog posts on my website, and I'm going to choose one that I haven't actually optimized that well. So if we go to 7 times saving social media hacks, for example. So let's go in there because I've got an orange Yoast thing in there. So when it comes to optimizing your blog post, what does it mean? First of all, optimizing basically means making your content attractive to search results. So things like Google and Bing, those kind of search engines, they want to know what your content is about, and you have to make it as clear as possible for them so that they know when to serve up your content for your users. So first of all, you need to know what keywords you are optimizing for. So you need a list of keywords that you want to target for your website and for your content. So ideally you want one keyword that you will be targeting per post and per page, because that just helps you be able to appear in search engine results a bit more. You're not kind of crossing over two bits of content. Sometimes Google can be like, okay, well, this website has a bit of content about social media hacks, but if I did another post about social media hacks, it'll be like, well, which one is the most important one? Which one do I rank highly? So what we are going to be targeting in here, if we go down to my Yoast plugin, just to remind myself, so social media time-saving hacks is what I'm going to be targeting. So that is something we call a long tail keyword. It's not just one word or two words, it's an actual phrase that people might be typing into Google to find a specific bit of content. So what I am saying to Google is I want people who are searching for social media time-saving hacks to find this blog post. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that that keyword is first of all in your title of your page or your blog post. So that needs to be in there. Also make sure that your keyword is in the URL of the page as well. Always helpful. If you have to kind of tweak it a bit, then you can always edit it. It's really up to you in whatever kind of CMS, content management software, if whatever you're using to manage your site, you'll always be able to edit the URL. In Blogger, it's actually called a permalink, so you can change the permalinks when you're actually in the blog post. You can do it that way. So next thing is to make sure your keyword is in your content. Now, if you have a WordPress site, it's a lot easier because Yoast kind of tells you how much you've used that keyword, but if you don't, then you kind of have to do it manually. So read through it, note down how many times you've said it in your content, and aim for about maybe 3 or 4 times in a piece of content. Don't put it in every single sentence that you write because it reads really badly. Now, images. So if you add an image into your post, it has something called an alt tag or alternative text, and that is a way for a search engine to read what the image is about. Search engines can't see anything, they can only read. So what you have to do is tell search engines what that image is. So time-saving social media hacks, that's what that image is alluding to. Also, if someone is they have like short-sightedness or they're blind, they will often use a machine that describes everything to them, in which case that machine will also use alternative text to tell that person what images are on the page. So make sure that not only do they have the keywords in, but they also make sense, and they actually, imagine like you can't see what the image is, then you have to describe what it is for yourself. That makes sense? I think it makes sense. But yeah, so that goes into alternative text. So try and make sure that you've got your keyword into any images that you've got in there. Don't, again, stuff it in as many times as possible. If you've got multiple images on that page, maybe try different variations of that keyword. So your main image will have the keyword in, and then any other images after that might have the keyword in, but a slightly different spin on it. So it might be social media tips or social media advice, stuff like that. So make sure that's in there. Another thing you have to kind of look at as well is your headings. So this is a heading 2. So your heading 1 will always be your meta title, will be the title of your post. Sometimes in some themes it won't be, so just check that before you kind of post it live, because it might be a case of you have to actually put your main header in there. But your heading 1 is the most important, so that's why you need to make sure that your keyword is in your post title, because that will be the H1. A H2 is the second most important, but it kind of, H2s and H3s, there's not a massive amount of difference, so it's up to you which ones you want to use. It could be a case of just whatever looks best on the page. But also make sure that you post it at least once in any of the following headers in your post. So as you can see, I've got it in my the first H2 that comes up on there as well. So that is pretty much it for the actual main part of your content. And then the next bit that we will look at, if we scroll down, keep going down. So if you've got Yoast, I have actually done a video on how to use Yoast, kind of what it does for you and stuff like that. So I'll post that in the description below. But if you don't use Yoast, or if you're using something like Squarespace and stuff like that, then don't worry too much about the plugin, just think about what I'm actually saying. So what you need to do as well is make sure that you have a meta description for that post or page. That is, they've increased the amount of characters that you can have in a meta description, but still ideally I would say if you can get it into 160 characters or less, then that's ideal. So what you can do is put in your meta description in there. You will be able to find it in no matter what platform you're using. You will have a space to put that in, and make sure that your keyword appears at least once. Ideally, if you can get it in twice and still have it make sense, then that's great. But if you can put it in once, then that's ideal. So make sure your meta description has a keyword in it as well. And then you also, obviously, your SEO title or your meta title, which will be this kind of text up here that appears in your tab. Now, a lot of content management systems will use the post title or the page title as your SEO title as like a default. So again, that's why it's important to have your keyword in your title so that you don't have to mess about with that. And then that is pretty much it for actually optimizing a blog post. There's literally just about putting your keyword in, but at the same time making sure it makes sense. And another thing that Google takes into consideration is how how much benefit that you're giving through your content. Is your content good? So if a lot of people are staying on the page for a long time, if they're reading like your entire article, that will do better for your SEO. If someone comes to your blog post from search engine results, they read the first line and they're like, this is crap, they go somewhere else, then your bounce rate, so that's how quickly someone comes to your website and then leaves again, that will be very high. And the higher that is, it kind of tells Google like people are going to your page, but they're not getting anything from it, they're leaving straight away. So if you can make the first paragraph of your page content or your blog content as interesting and engaging as possible, and then the rest of the content make it super helpful, super beneficial, and really deliver everything that you promised from your meta description and your meta title, then people will read to the end and your bounce rate will be a lot lower. Your time on the page, like how long users spend on your blog post, will be a lot lower, and in which case Google will be like, oh, people are spending loads of time on this blog and they're finding it really helpful. I'll push that further up on our results pages. So that is pretty much it. It's not rocket science, it's not as complicated as you think it's going to be. It's literally just about including the keywords as often as you can, but not sacrificing the actual quality of the content. So that is all. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. I'm always happy to answer any questions you have. And remember to subscribe and like and share, and I will see you in the next videos. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.